welcome to Karen's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a traditional brisket. This is my daughter Jamie's favorite meal. Every time she comes home from school, this is her welcome home meal. And it's perfect for me because it's one of those kind of meals that you set it up and you let it cook for 12 hours. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a brisket. This is a grass-fed brisket. I bought it at Whole Foods, and it weighs about 8 pounds, so it is heavy. I'm going to put it on a bed of sliced onions. That's one onion that's sliced, and I'm just going to put it on top, and then I'm going to cut up 2 more onions. Put them on top of the brisket, and then we'll do the next step. So my onion is peeled. Don't worry if some of your onion pieces fall off, because it's all going to get cooked together. It doesn't matter. If they fall off, just pick them up, stick them back on. The next thing we're going to add is 6 carrots that are cut into about 1.5 to 2-inch pieces, bite-sized pieces, so you don't have to fight them when you're trying to eat them. Just going to put them around the edges. The next ingredient is potatoes. You can use any kind of potatoes you want, but I bought a 24-ounce bag of tricolored potatoes. They're small, they're bite-sized, they'll cook evenly, and you don't have to do much to them. All you do is put them around the edges with your carrots. You can adjust things along the way if you don't like the way they're in there. The next ingredient is Lipton onion soup mix, dried onion soup mix. There's 2 envelopes in each package, and depending on how large your brisket is, it depends on how much seasoning mix you're going to use. But for sure, you're going to use both of these for this big of a brisket, and you just sprinkle it on. Doesn't matter how, it doesn't have to be perfect, just sprinkle it on. So I do one for sure whole one on the meat itself. And then the second one, I'm going to put around the vegetables, the carrots and the potatoes. But it won't require as much, so the rest will go on the meat. And that's going to be enough for this big brisket. And my final ingredient, this is my secret recipe, or my secret ingredient, it's called Heinz chili sauce. And lots of different brands, but this happens to be the brand that I like. And I'm going to use both of these bottles. So I shake it up first and then just start pouring it on. Again, I'm going to start with the brisket. I'm just going to put some on the edge. And then whatever I have left after I go around one time is going to go back on the meat. And I don't really mix it around too much, I just kind of leave it on there. And the method that we're going to use to cook the brisket is called braising. I'm now going to put on a foil top and put it in a 250-degree oven for 12 hours. Brisket tends to be a tough piece of meat, so we're going to cook it slowly and for a long period of time, and it will be very tender when it comes out. So I'm going to just put a foil top on it now, and it's going to steam it in the oven on 250 degrees for 12 hours. Shiny side down. It reflects the heat in. One last piece over the whole thing for good measure, and then into the oven for 12 hours. You can do this. Oftentimes I will get it ready the night before, and I will put it in the oven at 7 a.m. and that way it can be ready at 7 p.m. But today, you don't know this, but today I'm going to be cooking my brisket overnight. I'm going to put it in the oven at 8 p.m. and I'm going to take it out at 8 a.m. So whatever you want to do, either way. But it does need 12 hours. Okay, see you over at the oven. Prepared our brisket and it's ready to go in the oven for 12 hours. So you just put it in just like it is. Always like it to be in the center of your oven. And have a good evening. I'll see you in 12 hours. Bye. Hi, and welcome back to Karen's Kitchen. Well, it's been 12 hours. We put our brisket in last night at about 8 o'clock, and it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to take it out. So it's been on 250 degrees all night. After your brisket comes out of the oven, you're going to let it rest for about an hour. So an hour has gone by and we've let our brisket rest. So ready to look inside. And it looks perfect. Look how much juice is made. We added no water. That came out of the brisket and the steam. After your brisket has been allowed to rest for about an hour, you're going to place it on a cutting board. When you start to cut the brisket, you're going to cut it on a diagonal. That means against the grain. So I'm going to show you back on the brisket what I mean. You're going to cut it diagonally against the grain, not with the grain, but against the grain. And that way it won't shred. That's my last tip for today. Thank you for coming to Karen's Kitchen. I'll see you next time. Enjoy. Bye.